The MG ZST, with more tech, more safety with 360-degree camera, and more peace of mind. From 25,490 drive away, the award-winning MG ZST. It's the more you've been looking for.
On air, online, and on your smart speaker. Find your career in civil construction at Wagner Corporation. Now hiring. Visit wagnercorporation.com.au.
Hit News Briefing.
Canberra hoses down blackout concerns on the East Coast. The latest on the hearings into the Capitol riots in the US, and one of our biggest states announces plans to improve childcare. Hi, it's Dan Flake here with your news briefing. The Energy Minister's assuring those on the East Coast there's no immediate concerns about power outages. Emergency powers have been activated by the regulator to get generators to pump more power into the network. Chris Bowen says measures have been taken to avoid blackouts provided there's no unforeseen issues with our supply.
There is enough supply in the system to avoid load shedding, asking the big industrial users to reduce their energy use, or indeed, as I've seen some public speculation, blackouts. There is enough supply in the system to avoid those.
The concerns have seen the PM blaming the former government for a supposed lack of energy policy. However, former Resources Minister Keith Pitt has told Listeners Australia Today the previous government was looking into the potential energy crisis the country's now seeing.
Oh, we were concerned about it. This is why we were trying to bring on as much gas as we could possibly manage, whether that was in the Beetaloo, even on shore at Narrabri. But states like Victoria had a moratorium for 8 years on exploration. If you don't replace what are depleting supplies with new ones, then you eventually run out of gas.
Still in politics, and former Wallaby star David Pocock's won a seat in the federal Senate, becoming the first independent senator for the ACT. A rocky start for the Aussie Stock Exchange, falling around 5 points at the start of trade today. Inflation concerns in the US is behind the dramas, sparking recession fears there. Economist Craig James from CommSec says there could be more instability in the coming days off the back of developments in the States.
The next thing that we have to watch out for across the globe is the US Federal Reserve meeting, which gets underway later tonight. That decision will be handed down Thursday morning, and then we'll get to see, sort of just how aggressive the Federal Reserve is in dealing with inflation threat. Speaking
of the States, a second hearing into the infamous Capitol riots has played out. Former President Donald Trump's been accused of inciting the violence in his attempt to reverse the 2020 election results. Former US Attorney General Bill Barr says he repeatedly told Trump there was no evidence of election fraud.
When I went into this and would tell him how crazy some of these allegations, there was never an indication of interest in what the actual facts were.
And New South Wales has taken a big step forward when it comes to improving childcare services across the state. The government announcing a $5 billion package to boost what's on offer over the next decade to hopefully get more women back to work.
Whenever you're working near power lines, plan ahead, use a spotter, and look up and live. For more Powerline safety tips, visit ergon.com.au.
Socceroos keeper Matt Ryan admits he was shocked but not upset after being subbed off for the gripping penalty shootout with Peru in this morning's World Cup playoff in Doha. The move proved to be a masterstroke as penalty specialist Andrew Redmayne made two crucial saves to send us to a fifth straight World Cup. Ryan says there's no bad blood towards the call.
Apparently the decision was made at halftime of the game, but understandably so. They wanted to obviously keep it to themselves. At the end of the day, whatever it takes to get there,
To AFL, North Melbourne's confirmed they won't challenge the ban offered to young star Jason Horne-Francis. He'll sit out the next two matches for striking giant Josh Kelly on Sunday. Felice Kafusi heads to the NRL judiciary tonight to fight a dangerous contact offence. However, no such luck for the Tigers, who will be without Brent Naden for a month of footy. The centre's taken an early guilty plea on a Grade 3 dangerous tackle offence. And finally, Aussie quick Pat Cummins will play his first ODI in 18 months as the national side faces Sri Lanka.
A partly cloudy afternoon in Toowoomba. It'll drop down to 7 degrees overnight. Partly cloudy and 19 tomorrow. Sunshine returning on Thursday and into the weekend. Our Listener app is the home of local news. Download to listen now.